Welcome to Crime Nera channel, where every crime tells a story. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so. When his breathing gave him away, the police had enough evidence to put this man behind bars for life. But what exactly did they see that gave him away? You're about to find out. We will show you 3 crime scene videos and you need to figure out what it was that the cops were looking at that gave this guy away. But before we do that, please subscribe so you won't miss an upcoming video. Some people think being good at poker means you are a liar. But according to a study by Princeton University, there are ways to spot liars just by looking at them. And he who has the ears is Sherlock Holmes, because when we are stressed, our bodies make tiny moves without us even realizing it. It's called nonverbal leakage. We leak information from our bodies without knowing it. And that could mean showing our true feelings with our faces, hands, feet, or yes, also with our breathing. Have you ever been nervous or stressed? You may not have realized it, but your breathing probably changed. When we're nervous or stressed, we tend to breathe faster, shallower and more unevenly than normal. And that might be exactly what this man was doing in the interrogation room, too. Now I want you to pay close attention. What is his breathing like? Is it deep or shallow? Is it fast or slow? Does it seem even? Now take a look at his chest. Can you see his ribs moving up and down? Does it look like he's taking deep breaths, or does it look like he's trying to hide something? How does his breathing affect his upper body? Does his shoulder tense up? Does he shift uncomfortably? Does his jaw clench? These small details can reveal a lot about someone's emotional state. But why would he start breathing like that? Well, when we lie, our body automatically triggers the fight or flight response. This happens whether we're aware of it or not. So when we're hiding something, our body starts breathing faster and shallower because it thinks we're in danger. So while we're trying to keep calm, our body is betraying us. So when investigators saw these signs, they likely knew he was feeling guilty. They may have asked him further questions, trying to push him to confess. This can cause even more stress, leading to more leakage. And that's exactly what happened here. This man started to sweat. He tried to drink some water, but it didn't help. He started speaking faster and fidgeting more, all because his body betrayed him. He tried to play it cool, but his breathing gave him away. His breathing became more shallow and rapid, and the more he tried to hide something, the more stressed he got, which led to even more changes in his breathing. Eventually, he broke down and confessed. In this next clip, this man is sitting in an airport waiting to board his plane. But soon he will be doing much more than waiting. He will be arrested. But do you know why? Watch him closely and try to figure it out. When people lie, their bodies often give them away. And sometimes that giveaway is in their breathing. Have you ever noticed how people breathe when they're lying? When we're lying, our bodies get a little stressed, and that stress makes us breathe faster, shallower and more unevenly, and normal. And this is what this man was doing too. This man's breathing is very shallow and rapid. He is trying very hard to act casual, but his breathing is giving him away. Investigators had already gathered enough evidence to arrest him. They knew that he had stolen money from his company. And now as he sat in the airport waiting to board his plane, they watched him closely. But what did they see that made them arrest him? One important thing they watched was his breathing. Do you remember what we talked about? When we're stressed or nervous, our breathing changes. We breathe faster, shallower and more unevenly than normal. And this man's breathing was doing exactly that. He was breathing very fast, very shallow and very unevenly. It was obvious that he was very stressed and nervous. But why was he acting this way? Well, he was trying to run away. He was trying to board that plane and escape to another country. But unfortunately for him, investigators had seen enough. They knew he was lying and they weren't going to let him get away. That is exactly what happened in this case. As soon as investigators saw his shallow and rapid breathing, they knew he was lying and they arrested him right then and there. One of the most famous examples of this happened with a serial killer named Ted Bundy. Bundy was one of America's most notorious serial killers. And when he was finally caught, his breathing gave him away. Bundy was in an interrogation room being questioned by police about a missing girl. At first, he acted very calm and collected. He denied any involvement in the disappearance and seemed confident. But as the questioning continued, Bundy began to show signs of stress. His breathing became more rapid and shallow. Even though he was trying to act calm, His body was betraying him. The police knew that Bundy was lying and eventually he confessed to the crime. So what should you do if you notice someone's breathing is off? Well, the first thing to do is to be aware of the situation. If you're talking to someone and their breathing is off, they may be lying or hiding something. Don't ignore it, pay attention. Also, don't be afraid to ask questions. If someone's breathing is off and they're acting suspicious, it may be time to call the police. Finally, make sure you're safe. If you feel like someone may be a threat to your safety, don't hesitate to call for help. Remember, if someone's breathing is off, they may be hiding something. The ability to read body language is a crucial skill for anyone who wants to be successful in life. When you can read body language, you're able to understand what people are thinking and feeling, even if they're trying to hide it. This allows you to build trust and rapport with others, which is essential for success in any field. For example, if you're a salesperson, you can use body language to read your customers and determine what they want or need. If you're a manager, you can use body language to read your employees and see how they're feeling. And if you're a student, you can use body language to read your teachers and classmates. There are many benefits to reading body language. It allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, build trust and rapport, and read people's emotions and intentions. In the US, 90% of the communication between people is nonverbal. That means that most of what we say is not actually coming out of our mouths. Most of it is being communicated through our body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. This means that if you want to be successful in life, you need to be able to read body language. Imagine being able to walk into a room and instantly know who the leader is. Imagine being able to tell if someone is lying or being dishonest. Imagine being able to build trust and rapport with anyone you meet. All of these things are possible if you have the skills to read body language. Now back to the video. Most of us think we can control our breathing, but studies have shown that that's not entirely true. In fact, breathing is one of the hardest body signals to control. That's why even the most experienced liars and con artists often give themselves away with their breathing. When we're feeling guilty or anxious, our breathing changes without our even realizing it. And that involuntary change can give us away. For example, when we lie, our body gets a little stressed, and that stress makes us breathe faster, shallower, and more unevenly than normal. And when investigators are interrogating someone, they're trained to look for these signs of stress. If they see someone's breathing change when they're being questioned, they may be lying. On top of that, there are other physical signals that are easy to miss. For example, when we're feeling guilty or anxious, our body gets a little stressed. And that stress makes us breathe faster, shallower, and more unevenly than normal. It's important to note that just because someone's breathing is off doesn't mean they're lying. There could be other reasons for their behavior. Maybe they're just nervous or shy or have a medical condition. However, if someone's breathing is off and they're acting suspicious, it may be worth paying closer attention to what they're saying. If you want to learn more about microtells and body language, stay tuned. What did you think of this video? Let us know in the comments. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We wish you all the best and hope to see you in the next video.